Okay, I'm going to try to go over the things that we covered on September 2nd. We started by talking about search options and searching more in detail. So the best way to start a search, if you have no idea where a document would be obviously the Windows Start button. And I don't remember what we searched, but I'm just going to put Christmas in here because I have a ton of things that say Christmas. And so I've got a whole bunch of things, and I'm not sure really where they are. Maybe I need more information about them. I can click here where it says See More Results. And that's going to give me an actual Windows Explorer window. And if you remember, you can view a window like this in all kinds of different ways. If you come up here to your view, and you can change it by clicking, you can change it and put it in all these different views. And my favorite view is this detail view. So with the detail view, remember, if you know when you modified the document, you can click on Modified, and back and forth it'll give you the oldest, or click it again and you can get the most recent. So it'll give you the date that was modified. And actually here, and you can always make these folders, these columns wider. This is going to show you where the document is, which folder it's in. If you expand it, you can actually see that this one is in, this one's on my desktop. Actually, it's in a folder on my desktop, but you can find out where it is. And you can just open the document directly from here once you figure out which one you want. So this just gives you more flexibility on searching. So although it's important for your brain to keep yourself organized by putting things in folders, really, if you lose things, Windows has a really good way to search for them. You can also, the search button that's up here, this is a search up here, and you can do that in any particular window. Like if you know for sure that it's in your Documents folder, you just don't know where. If you click Documents, you can go up here and search just, in your Documents folder, and it's going to give, these are just the things that are in the Documents folder. So you can narrow your search down there. So lots of different ways to search. Okay, we talked about how to select objects, and really this works anywhere in Windows. I'm going to open my Documents folder again, and actually let me go back. I had that Christmas thing. Let's go back to Christmas, or wait, where was I? Because it only had a few things in it. Let's say for some reason I had these items in here, and I wanted to move them into another folder. So I'm just going to open up another folder here. It doesn't matter which one. And let's say perhaps I wanted to move, if I wanted to move more than one of these over to another place, if I wanted to move them all, I can just take my mouse and starting anywhere in like a corner, you can swoop up and select everything in the window. By swooping, what you do is you click below it with your left mouse button, regular mouse button, and just touch each one of them, and it'll select them all. And then you have the option of moving them all, or whatever you want to do, or deleting, doing whatever action you're going to do. Now, if you want to do just two of them that are next to each other, same thing. You could just swoop up and select, select just two of them or three of them, or however you did it. But you can also click on one and then hold down the Control button, and then click on any other one. They don't even have to be adjacent. And by holding down the Control button and clicking on different things, when you let go, then when you drag one, see there's a number 2, it'll drag both of those wherever you want to do whatever action you need to do with both of them. So they don't even have to be adjacent to each other to select. And that happens in any Windows folder. You can select adjacent things by swooping, or you can select non-adjacent things by holding down the Control and picking what you want. The other thing you can do is if there are things in a row and you want to start from one and select them all, you can click on the first one, hold down the Shift button, click on the last one, and then all of them in between those two will highlight. I'll show you that in a kind of a different way. If I go back to, I can even go back to this window here. If I started here and I just went all the way down to here, if I hold down the Shift button and then click this, see how it selects absolutely all of them? Okay, I'll click away to deselect them. Actually, you can go like this and then deselect. Now, if I wanted to pick ones that were not adjacent, hold down the Control button, click one, then click another, then click another, then click another. As long as you have the Control button down, it's going to select whatever you want. And then once again, you can grab them and drag them or move them or do whatever you need to do with them. I'm actually going to not do anything with them. So that's the selecting. So hopefully that will make things easier when you're moving stuff around. Okay, after that we looked at the your screensaver, the difference between the desktop background and the screensaver. Um, my desktop background is this. I can actually make these icons disappear so you can see this better. If I go View, right click on the desktop, say View, I'm going to uncheck this desktop icons. Now you can see this is my desktop background. I actually did this in Photoshop. I made a graphic image of this swirly blue thing that I found on the internet because I loved it, and superimposed this little cute guy because I love him as well. So this whole thing actually is one picture, and that's my desktop background. It's not a screensaver. So I'm going to right click on the desktop, and I'm going to go to Personalize. And you can see here, desktop background. That's just a picture that I have that I go back and forth. And I switch back between the SEM logo and this one because if I present, I have to make it look official. So to switch, I would just click on this, and it's going to change my background to be the SEM logo, and then I can look official, but this is the one I really like. So I actually don't have a screensaver, but you can do a screensaver. If you click here, see mine says none. So for you, what we did on your screensaver was we used your pictures. So we went to screensaver, and you can choose from a bunch of different ones. One of them is the Windows Live Photo Gallery, or this, I think Google's Photo Screen. I don't know where that one comes from. Google's Photo Settings. Let's see where this is. Settings, and yeah, and you can do specific folders. So I think this is the one we did for you. We had specific folders or web albums. Oh, you go on the web. I think specific folders. Then you can pick whichever folders you wanted to have in there. And for yours, I think we did, you know, all your pictures. But this is where you go to fool around with that, and that's a screensaver thing. I don't keep a screensaver, but it's fun if you want to. You can play with it, but just things to play with. All right. So that was that. I think apply. I have nothing done for that. Oh wait, I said apply. I just gave myself a screensaver. Wait, let me go back and say none, because I don't want one. Okay, apply. Okay, so that's it. So now I want to get all my icons back. I right click on my desktop. I go View, Show Desktop Icons, and there's all my junk back. Okay, next thing we did was we talked about tagging pictures. And tags are things that you put. There's a lot of tagging that happens on the internet. A lot of things are tagged. Bookmarks can be tagged. Anything that you need to search for. And what a tag does, what's different between a tag and a folder, is you can have one item that has as many tags as you can think of, but it's still only one item. And the idea is you can search on any of the tags and find that one item. If you put them in a folder, it's stuck in a folder. So for instance, if you had folders that was a trip to Hawaii, for instance, and you put all your trip folder pictures from Hawaii in this folder, if ever you wanted to find them, you could find them easy. But let's say there were pictures of your daughter in there, and maybe you were looking for pictures of your daughter, and you didn't care whether they were from Hawaii or they were from something else. If you tagged your picture with her name, and then you also tagged the same picture with Hawaii, and you might have tagged it with the year, then you could search either way and find that one picture without making copies of it, because you might look for it a different way. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. So let me go to my pictures folder and give you an idea. And you can go to, I have all kinds of weird things in here. These are because I usually use these on the website. And oh, there's my water and my alien guy. Oh, this is a fun one. Okay, so I'll show you this one. Okay, so if I click on a picture, see at the bottom you get this little extra stuff. You can take that panel and make it bigger. Remember, we made it bigger so you could see it better. So if you make that panel bigger, it's got all this information that you can put in. There's information that's in there already, but you can add a title. You can add a tag. This is the tag place. Now, when you click to add a tag, you just start to type, and I'm going to say Yoda. Okay. Now, to add another tag, just click again, and it goes past that little semicolon, because the semicolons separate the tags. And maybe I want to put the year in there, 2012. And I don't know, maybe I want to say Star Wars, whatever. The idea is then if I go to search on them, so if I go up here under pictures and I start to search on Yoda, oh look, see, I have more Yoda. I love Yoda. It comes up because I've tagged it. So all my pictures that are up on Flickr are all tagged with the year, with the name of the person in the picture. If there's multiple people, that's multiple tags, a tag for each person. and the event if there is an event, and anything else that you might search on. So that's how I tag my pictures, and it's a very lofty goal to get them all tagged. It won't happen, but it's the way I do it, and someday maybe in my retirement I'll have nothing to do but tag pictures. Okay, so we did that. Then we took a look at Google Calendars. Let's go back to the Google Calendar. And okay, Google Calendar, that was here. Okay, so this is my Google Calendar. And we talked about, I have Google Calendar reminders. Just to review the calendar again, once again, these are the calendars that you can make changes on. This top one would be your own. If you want to see just that calendar, highlight it and you say display this calendar only. If you want to see any of the others, you have to make sure their lights are on by clicking on them. So these are the ones that I need to have. I don't need that one. Okay, so that was it. Reminders, how to put a reminder on something. If you have, let's say for instance, I want a reminder on the one on our get-togethers, our 4:30 get-togethers. All right, this is the one coming up. If I click on it, it takes me to this. It's got to repeat, but down here it says no reminders. Well, let's say I really want to know ahead of time. I have an option of a pop-up reminder that just comes up on my computer, an email, which is really handy, or a text message. And the text message is a little more complicated, but you just have to put in your cell phone number, and I can set that up if you want to be able to do that. But the email reminders are really handy. If you want to get an email and you have an option of days, hours, weeks, I mean, for something that's major, or like a doctor's appointment, you schedule it 6 months in advance, but really you'd like to know about it maybe a week or two before. You might want to say, email me and a week before it happens, and then you would get an email that reminded you. So I'm going to actually get rid of that email reminder. So you can set reminders and you'll get yourself some emails, and that's, I think, really handy. I actually do use that a lot for that. So I'm pretty sure that was all we did. There's more things you can do with calendar, but I don't want to give you more than you need to know. But that reminder, I think, is a pretty handy thing. Okay, Google Drive. We talked about Google Drive. I don't have a cryptic note here. It says Google Drive save as and move. And I don't really know what that means. I think it might mean the things that are shared with you. It's possible that that's what we were talking about. Let me go to Google Drive. I think the documents that you got that were shared with you when you go into your Google Drive or your Google Docs, if you click on shared with me, I got a million. And it might be something that you want to put into your drive. You can just take it and drag it. And if you put into my drive, then it'll actually sync to your desktop. And I think that we may or may not have installed Google Drive on your desktop. If that's what we were talking about, then that's it. If somebody shares something with you, it won't show up on the folder on your desktop until you pull it out of shared with me. It's still going to be in shared with me, but it's also going to be part of your drive as well. I forget where I just put it. Handbook. And you can always search on your Google Docs up here too. Student handbook, right, copy of student handbook. That's just going to open it. Anyway, we can go over that again. I'm not really sure what we were talking about. If you remember, I'm sorry, let me know. So that's pretty much what we did on the second. I know that our plans for the next lesson are to work on Excel. So we will see you next time, and hopefully this was helpful.